Alright then, so welcome back guys, hope you're all doing great. So in this video, we are going to look into how to build a neomorphic button with a CSS animation. So here we're having a neomorphic button effect. So once I click this, it is going to have this little animation inside it by like a background color, and along with that the color is having pulse effect and it is been rotating inside the button itself, right? So basically it's a checkbox button which we are going to build in this video. I'm going to show you how to build this, and yeah, so without wasting your time, let's get started. And along with that, you can download the source code completely for free, and or not only that, you can download the every single the different UI components built by using HTML and CSS alone from our GitHub link. Click the link and go ahead and you can use it for free. All right then, so first what we are going to do is inside this buttons, I'm going to create a new folder over here called Neumorphic button animation, something like that. Neumorphic button animation. So inside this folder, I'm going to create a new file called index.html, and I'm going to create a new file called styles.css. Right inside this index.html, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the boilerplate code, and I'm going to name this document title as neumorphic button animation. Then I'm going to link /styles.css inside here. So first what we have to do, we have to bring the container. So let's say container, and inside this container I'm going to bring like a checkbox. So let's say input, which is the type of checkbox, and which is going to have the ID as the checkbox as well as checkbox, right? This is how it's going to be. Then, and I'm going to create a label. This label is going to basically for this particular checkbox. Now inside this label, I'm going to bring a span tag. Okay, and which is, this label is going to have a class name, class as button, and inside this label I'm going to bring a span tag, span with the icon, span tag, and inside this span tag only we are going to bring that icon itself. So to load that icon, so basically we are going to use the font awesome. So you can choose any icon as you wish. In this case I'm going to bring the GitHub, and I'm going to choose the SVG. So select the SVG, click it, and it will be copied, and paste it over here. Save these changes. All right. Okay, so now the wireframing is done. So let me open it in the live server. Right, so this is how it looks so far. So don't worry about it. So let me get into the styles.css. So inside the styles.css, as usual, what we're going to do, we're going to target the every single element, and I'm going to remove the margin as well as margin, padding 0, and box sizing, border box, right? Then I'm going to target the body tag, which is going to access the 100% viewport width and height, 100% viewport width and height. And inside everything needs to be in the exactly in the center location. So change it everything into flex, align the items in the center, and justify the content in the center as well. So both vertically and horizontally needs to be, it is in the center location, right? Now inside here, so first we need to target this container section. So let me target the container, and I'm going to say dot container, open it. It is going to have width 7 em, 7 em. So this is going to be a unit font size. It is by default it is going to take the browser font size as 16 pixels. So which means 1 em unit is going to be 16 pixels. So it is going to take the 7 times of that 16 pixels. Then height, which is going to be 7 em. All right. Then position, of course, it is going to be a relative position, a relative. Save the changes. Now we're going to target the button. So dot button, open it. So inside this, we do have this dot button, where it is, here it is, this button class. So we are targeting that button class, which is position. It's going to be an absolute position, and width, of course, it's going to be 100%, height, of course, 100%, and the border radius, of course, it's going to be 50%, which makes a perfect round button, right? Then I'm going to bring a border, which is going to be 4 pixel solid and hash 090909. Save these changes. Now you should see that it's having a button. So for the body tag, we need to change the background. So let's change the background for the body as #212121. Save it. That's how it looks. Now for inside this button, just like the same way how we did have the border, I'm going to bring the background color. So background color, which is going to be a transparent background color. Since we are using the image, so I can say background image, which is going to be linear gradient. So we are not using image, we are using SVG, right? So we can target that by using the background image and supply the linear gradient color. So 145 degree, which is going to be #171717, then one more #44444, then 245. So save it, right? And now you can see it's having a mild linear gradient effect. You can see the difference over here in the icon. Then what we can do, I'm just going to say box shadow, which in case it's going to use the inset 2 pixels 0 and #7D 7C and 7E. That's the color code which we are going to use. Then I'm going to draw one more inset -2 pixels 0 pixels and #1C 1C 1C. Save it. Right now this is how you can't see that that inner shadow effects. The reason is because of this SVG. It's taking quite long. So I'm just going to display flex, align items center, and justify content center, because the SVG needs to be in the exact center location. Now you can see the button, how exactly it's looking like this. This is how it should look, that button shape. Then next, what I need to do, I need to target the input, because I don't want to see the checkbox. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say dot input, container and input, open it, which is going to basically display as the none. So we don't see that input anymore. Then we can target the button pseudo element dot button before, open it, which in case position is going to be absolute, and I'm not going to load any specific content in it. So keep it in that way. Then width, of course, it's going to be 7.25 em and height 7.25 em, and the border radius, which is going to be inherit the parent border radius. Then the background color, which is going to be transparent, and the background image, which is going to be the linear gradient itself, which is going to be 145 degree, and the color code, which is going to be #262626 comma #606060. So save these changes, and now you can see this is how that pseudo element looks like. Then I'm going to put it behind it. So Z index, which is going to be -1. So keep it at the bottom, right? Perfect. Then I'm going to bring the box shadow for it, box shadow, which is going to be 11 pixels, 11 pixels and 22 pixels and #141414. Then -11 pixels, 22 pixels and #525252. Save these changes. That's how the shadow effects looks like. Now you can see it is looking so good, right? Next, what we have to do is we have to target the icon, which is inside the button. So dot button space dot icon, open it. I think that's the name I have, is icon. And now what I need to do is I need to fix the width for that icon. This is going to be the 60 pixels width, and height, which is going to be the 60 pixels height, and then the display, which is going to be inline block. So save it, and now you should be able to see that SVG perfectly sitting inside the button. All right, now I need to target the SVG tag inside the icon span, open it, right? This icon class is for the SVG. So inside here, now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fix the height and width. It should take the 100% width and height of its parent, which is going to be the icon itself, something like that. Then I need to make sure fill, what color it needs to fill, which is going to be #A5A5A5. That's the color it's need to fill, right? So now the SVG icon is looking something like that. Then what I need to do is dot container. If the dot container and then input, if it is being checked, if once I clicked it, it is going to be checked. If it is being checked, then I'm going to customize this button look. So space, open it. I'm going to say box shadow, which is going to be inset -2 pixels, -2 pixels, and 0 hash 5e 5e 5e. Then I'm going to target the inset, which is going to be 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 0, and hash 1c 1c 1c. So save these changes. Okay, now whenever you're clicking it, we are changing the UI look and feel of that button. See, it is completely changed. All right, so then what I have to do is, let's right after, I need to change the border look and feel. So let's say border. So border is going to be 4 pixels, solid, RGBA. I'm going to say 77, 124, and 255, which is going to be 0.281. Save the changes. Now when I click this, the border color, it looks like this. Perfect. Then all I have to do is to jump into the animations, and I'm going to give the name as anime border, and it is going to be .3s linear alternate reverse. Okay, we are going to use the linear alternate reverse, and it should perform the infinite time, right? So then right after here, now what I need to do is, all we have to do, change the icon color as well as. So if the container and the input, if it is being checked, in that situation, what I have to do, I need to make sure that dot button, inside that button I do have icon, that SVG color needs to fill RGBA, the same color code, RGBA 771242550.281. Instead of 281, I'm just going to change the opacity level as 642, something like this. See, like that. Then I'm gonna say animation, and this time this is going to be anime fill. So we have two animations for border and as well as for the fill effect, which is going to be .3 seconds linear alternate reverse, and infinite animations. Save it. Let's go ahead and create the keyframes for both of them. At keyframes, we're going to target the border first, anime border. Inside here, I'm gonna say 2, right? So that is a property called 2 for the keyframes. 2, I'm going to say border color, which is going to be RGBA, and I'm going to say 77124 and 255, but the opacity level is going to be 137. Okay, and now we can see that there is a small pulse effect which is being animated in the border. Let's go ahead and do the same stuff for the fill effect. So add keyframes, which is going to be the identifier. Copy this anime fill, place it over here, and inside here I'm just going to use the 2 property, open it, and I'm going to say the fill effect, not border color, the fill effect. So fill, which is going to be the same RGBA, but this color opacity, it's going to be 642. Save it, right? And let me refresh this, and if I click this for the button, it's not working. Why? Anime fill dot container, is there any mistakes over here? So far everything is perfect, because inside the button we do have the SVG. Yep, fill effect, it's going to be this, and anime fill, yeah, that's the anime fill, linear alternate reverse infinite 0.3 seconds, 777. Yep, and I think both of them are in exactly the same color. That's the reason, I think so. What we can do is, okay, I think the problem is because we are using the same color code over here and here. So what we can do is, we can change this into RGB, and I'm gonna supply without any alpha percentage. Yep, save it. And now we can see the differentiations in the animations over here, right? So when I click this, this is how the normal button should looks like, but when I click this, this is how it's going to be, right? So we successfully finished the neomorphic button animations along with the pulse animation effects, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you enjoyed it, hit the like and subscribe button, and you can download the source code for free just by clicking the link in the description, and go ahead and open our GitHub profile and we can use it for free.